Today's class is Canto number 4, chapter number 18. The name of the chapter is Prithu Maharaj Milks the Earth Planet. So, first of all, I would like to welcome all of you. Thank you very much for joining. And we will begin this. We'll do it with a brief introduction or a recap from the previous chapter. Let me tell you, this is a very interesting chapter. There's a lot to learn. It will captivate our mind and fill us with devotion, right? So Maharaj Prithu. So this story is continuing when as a conversation between two sages, right? Maitreya Muni and Vidura, right? The great devotee Vidura. So this discussion was going on between them, and then Maitreya Rishi is actually talking to Vidura and actually talking about Prithu Maharaj. He has been glorified very nicely by the professional reciters, and he was worshipped by all the leaders of the society, and everybody were happy. And then Vidura asked a question to Maitreya that Mother Earth can take a shape, any kind of different shapes. Why did he take the shape of a cow? And when Prithu Maharaj milked her, who became her calf and what was the milking pot? This is the question. Number one. So Mother Earth, she can take any shape. She can take multiple shapes. So one of the shape, we know that, Mother Earth takes the shape of a cow, right? And then Prithu Maharaj had milked her, and who became the calf and what was the milking pot and what was the milk that they got? So this is a very interesting point, okay? So throughout this chapter, we will be talking about this, where the cow is Mother Earth, the calf will be changing, the milking pot will be changing, and the milk will be changing. This is going to be really interesting, okay? And then the next question was, the surface of the earth is by nature low in some places and high in others. How did King Prithu level the surface of the earth, and why did King of Heaven Indra steal the horse meant for sacrifice? Three questions here, right? Two questions in this particular verse. The earth is originally, it was not so flat as it is right now. Now it is very much inhabitable. So many people who are able to stay on this earth planet, but earlier it was not like that. There were a lot of ups and downs, a lot of hills. Some surface, part of the surface was very high, some was very low, like in the other planets, you see. Yeah, and then why did King Prithu level the surface of the earth, or how did he do it rather? And why did the king of Indra steal the horse meant for sacrifice? Right. So then the next question was, Prithu Maharaj, he received the knowledge from Sanat Kumara, and after receiving the knowledge, how did he apply it practically? And how did that king attain desired destination? This is also an interesting question, isn't it? After receiving the knowledge, what do we do with the knowledge? See, originally the knowledge is meant for action. Knowledge is not meant for information. That is not knowledge. So knowledge is inspiration for action. So the first point is we get knowledge. And after we get knowledge, we take action. That is how it works. So that is the reason why he's asking, okay, he got knowledge from Sanat Kumar and what he do later, right? And then he continues to say, Prithu Maharaj was a powerful incarnation of Lord Krishna's potencies. And as far as I am concerned, I am always your devotee as well as the devotee of the Lord. Please therefore narrate the stories of King Prithu, who is in the form of the son of King Vena, milked the cow-shaped earth. Now here is an important point, dear devotees, that Prithu Maharaj, he is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So who is Prithu Maharaj? Is he an ordinary king? No, he's not an ordinary king. He was incarnation of Lord Krishna. He's called as the powerful incarnation of the Lord Krishna's potencies. Lord Krishna's. So there are different kinds of avatars, Amsha and Kala, like that. So he is one kind of a avatar. right? He's called as one of the type of avatars. And then Vidura became very inspired, okay, to hear all of this because it is the activities of Krishna. So what we are discussing is Krishna Katha. So what I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to start very soon about what did Prithu Maharaj do, how did he milk that cow, what was the conversation he had with the mother cow, mother earth. Then please be mindful that Prithu Maharaj is Krishna, right? He is the incarnation of Krishna. Thus the great sage Maitreya continued and said, my dear Vidura, and he started telling the story. Now the story starts. So at the time of Prithu, when he was enthroned by the great kings, right? King Vena was overthrown and Prithu Maharaj was enthroned. The problem was there was a scarcity of food grains. And the citizens became very skinny due to starvation. Therefore, the king had informed him of their real situation. See? So it happens with us all the time. So, particularly after the British invasion, India had seen many famines. Not only that, in the last 1,000 years also there have been many famines that we had to see. And the citizens were starving because of that. Even today we see in the underdeveloped nations that they are starving. The citizens are starving. It's because of the yield, the yield of the crops has actually come down. So earlier it used to give so many bags of rice, but now it's less. So now that's the reason why, right now we are using fertilizers. The revolution has come, green revolution, and then we are using a lot of fertilizers, and then we are able to artificially generate yield or by using some kind of a genetically modified crops. So it's not a natural way, please be understanding that. Either we are using artificial fertilizers or we are using genetically modified crops to get more yield. And it is scientifically observed that both these have dangerous side effects for people. But we have no other option because the yield is very less. Food won't be sufficient for everybody. So what should we do in such cases? When the yield is not given by the mother earth? We will also find out in this chapter, okay? And then all the citizens come to King Prithu Maharaj and they all start crying in front of him. And the king, he becomes very compassionate towards his citizens. And he becomes also angry that why is Mother Earth not giving the sufficient yield of food, crops, milk, everything. And he became very angry. He became like Lord Shiva out of anger. And then he took his bow and arrow to kill Mother Earth. He came to kill the earth. Right? And then he became very angry. And then the cow-shaped earth started running here and there because Prithu Maharaj has his bow and arrow and he's coming directly to kill her. And she was completely helpless. And then she started to pray to Prithu Maharaj like this. She said like this. She surrendered to Prithu Maharaj and she took shelter of Prithu Maharaj and said, please save me. You are the protector of all living entities. And now you are situated as the king of this planet. So she is addressing Lord Krishna. That, oh my dear Lord, please save me. Please don't kill me like this. I'm very poor and have not committed any sinful activities. I don't know why you want to kill me. And you are supposed to be the knower of all religious principles. Why are you so envious of me? Why are you so anxious to kill a woman? Kshatriyas are not supposed to kill a woman. And you are the supreme personality of Godhead. And I'm a very poor lady. And I've not done any sinful reactions. And you want to kill me? Why do you want to kill a woman? Don't you know dharma? And he's to continue to speak dharma. Even if a woman does commit some kind of sinful activity, no one should place his hand upon her. And what to speak of you, dear king? You are so merciful, you are protector and affectionate to the poor. Just he's telling interesting religious principles. You see, Srimad Bhagavatam is our Vedic dharma. So, I heard in one of the classes where Amoglila Prabhu proposed that Srimad Bhagavatam should become the constitution of India. First time when I heard it, I thought, how is it possible? It's too shocking to hear. But later I realized the depth of the statement. It makes a lot of sense. Because Dharma has taken the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. right? Dharma has taken the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you want to find out what is the Vedic Dharma, so the Vedic Dharma, everything is there inside Srimad Bhagavatam. So, and Prabhupada said that my textbooks will become law books for the entire world for the next 10,000 years. So right now it may not have happened, but in the future it is going to happen. That for the entire world there will be one constitution that will be Srimad Bhagavatam, that too written by Srila Prabhupada. So in this, the dharma that is being explained is even if a woman commits sinful activity, no one should place his hand upon her. The next one, the cow-shaped earth continued, and then, my dear king, how can you? I'm like a boat where everybody is standing on me. How can you break me into pieces? Right? And then King Prithu Maharaj replied to Mother Earth and said, you see, my dear Earth, you have disobeyed my orders and rulings. In the form of the demigod, you have accepted your share of the yajnas, but in return, you have not produced sufficient grains. For this reason, I must kill you. Look at this. Interesting, right? So, when we do fire sacrifices, we give portions, sacrificial portions to different kind of demigods, and Mother Earth is also one of them. Mother Earth is also taking these sacrificial offerings. What is she supposed to do in return? She is supposed to give us grains. That is her duty. Our duty is to give her the sacrificial offerings, and her duty is to give us grains. But she has to. You are not producing grains. I'll kill you. And you are eating green grass every day. You are filling your milk bag so that we can utilize your milk. But you are willfully committing offenses. And it cannot be said that you are not punishable due to the assuming the form of a cow. And he's saying, just because you have taken the form of a cow, don't think I will not punish you. And you have lost your intelligence. Despite my orders, you do not deliver the seeds of herbs, grains, formerly created by Brahma, and now you are hiding. Now I shall cut you into pieces, and with your flesh I will satisfy the hunger-stricken citizens who are crying for the want of grains. Thus I shall satisfy the crying citizens of my kingdom. I mean, so wonderful, right? I mean, the king is so, he's so enthusiastic to help the citizens. So this is a real king, not our politician fellows, huh? So any cruel person, be a man, woman, or impotent, who is interested in personal maintenance and has no compassion for the other living entities, may be killed by the kings. Such killing is not considered to be killing. Another dharma. I told you, Srimad Bhagavatam are going to become the law books for the next 10,000 years. Anybody who is cruel. So the question asked by Mother Earth was, I am a woman. Woman should not be killed. That is a direct question. Now, Prithu Maharaj is answering. He's saying any cruel person can be killed. Any cruel person who is not having compassion for the other living entities can be killed by the king, not by citizens. Please understand that. The king has the capacity to kill any cruel person. It can be a man, it can be a woman, or it can be an important eunuch. Doesn't matter. That's what he's saying. Okay. Anybody who is only interested in personal maintenance and no compassion for other living entities is worthy of killing. Therefore, such killing is called not killing. So, can you tell me in the past, when did the Supreme Personality of Godhead kill women? Can you tell me some stories? Let us see. In which incarnation did he do that?
Putana, Prabhuji.
Putana? Yeah, Krishna killed Putana. Right? And what else?
Tataka.
Tataka.
Tarka.
Tarka. Right? Tataka. So, yeah, Lord Ramchandra killed Tataka. Right? Why? Why did he kill? Is it not against religious principles? Here is the religious principle for your information. Any cruel person who is not compassionate for other living entities, only interested in personal maintenance, can be killed. This is not called killing by the king again. Okay, let us understand, not anybody. And then you have become puffed up with pride and become insane. And now I will cut you into small pieces like grain. That's it. So he's become very angry. He's become like Yamaraj. He's very angry. The king is like Yamaraj now. Now the Mother Earth is praying, my dear Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are in a transcendental position, and by your material energy, you have expanded into various forms and species of life through the interaction of three modes of material nature. And like, unlike some other masters, you always remain in your transcendental position and are not affected by material creation. And she's actually glorifying the Lord. She's glorifying. So many beautiful glories here. Okay, we'll skip all of them. Just to come to the current chapter. So she has done a lot of glorification, and now she's a little bewildered also. She's actually saying that I am the creation of your energy. Mother Earth is the creation of Supreme Lord's energy, composed of three modes of material nature. And we are not able to understand your activities and pastimes. Everything is contradictory. You created me and you want to kill me now. What is it that you want to do? I'm not able to understand. This is what she's trying to say, okay? Here we go. Let's start. So starting from this chapter, okay? Let's start this. Maitreyo vacha ittam pritum abhishtoya Rusha praspuritadharam punar ahava nirbhita samstabhyatmanamatmana. Anybody wants to read the translation, please? Can you please read the translation for me, anybody? Read the translation starting from the great saint Maitreya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great saint Maitreya continued to address Vidura. My dear Vidura, at that time after the planet Earth finished her prayers, King Prithu was still not pacified and his lips trembled in great anger. Although the planet Earth was frightened, she made up her mind and began to speak as follows in order to convince the king. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So here what's happening is Prithu Maharaj is very angry, right? He's very angry because his citizens are not getting food, right? And the Supreme Lord is like a loving mother, right, for all the living entities. He is the original king. I mean, what to speak? When he comes as the king, his compassion towards the living entities is so much. He's very angry, and now he's Mother Earth is trying to pacify him. Let's see what happens next. Now let us see the reasoning why Mother Earth has not given the grains. She's going to explain something very profound. I would like everybody to attentively hear this. Very important point. Sanniyacha vibhomanyum niboda shravitam cha me sarvatassara madatte yata madhukaro buddha. My dear Lord, please specify your anger completely and hear patiently whatever I submit before you. Please turn your kind attention to this. I may be very poor, but a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all places, just as a bumblebee collects honey from each and every flower. Nice lesson, isn't it? She's saying, okay, I'm not so learned, I'm not so great. I mean, she's speaking like this because whom she is speaking to? Who is Prithu Maharaj? Prithu Maharaj is
An
Supreme
incarnation
Personality
of the
of
Lord.
Godhead. Yeah, incarnation of Godhead. He is Krishna. She's speaking to Krishna. She's saying, I'm very poor, not so knowledgeable, my dear Lord. But still, it is said that a learned man takes knowledge from everywhere. It's not that we should not think, oh, why should I take knowledge from this person? He's inferior to me. Even if a small kid gives you teaching, you should be ready to take. Right? That is the qualification of a good person, a learned person. Take knowledge from everywhere, anywhere, right? I mean, if it is discriminatively, of course, doesn't mean that now we will go and take knowledge from a drunkard and a sinner, that too wrong knowledge. We're talking about good knowledge. If any good advice is given, if anything good is spoken by anybody, irrespective of their social position or whatever they may be, we should take it. Because the bumblebee collects honey from every flower. It doesn't discriminate. Oh, this is this flower, right? It's like that. Asmilloke tavamusmi. This is very nice. Asmilloke atavamusmin munibistattva darshibihi drushta yoga prayuktascha pumsam shriya prasiddhaye. Yeah, it says to benefit the human society, not only in this life but the next. The great seers have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity of people in general. What is that? What did, let us see. Give me one moment, please. Right. This is important. Let's open this verse. Asmin loke atava musmin munibis tattva darshibihi drushta yoga prayuktascha pumsam shreya prasiddhaye. Very nice. Asmin loke, in this life. Amusmin, in the next life. Munibihi, great sages. Tattva darshibihi, the truth, those who have seen the truth. It means to benefit the human society, not only in this life, but in the next life also. The great sages have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity of people in general. Okay, this is a very beautiful purport. Let me summarize the purport. Okay, what is given in the purport? What is Prabhupada saying here? The Vedic knowledge is perfect knowledge, and all the injunctions are known as Shruti. Shruti means to hear, something which is heard. Shruti is heard, right? This is called as Shruti. And there is additional supplementary presentation. Shruti is originally given by the Supreme Lord. Shruti is given by whom? Supreme Lord. And then some additionally supplementary presentations are there for the Shruti or the Vedas called Smriti. So two types of texts are there, Shruti and Smriti. Smriti is additional supplementary presentation given by great sages. The sages have written Smriti. But Shruti is not written by anybody. It is given by the Supreme Lord. It is the principles of Vedic religion. And human society, we should take advantage of Shruti and Smriti both. And if we want to improve in our spiritual life, right? If we want to improve in our spiritual life, we should follow these instructions and principles. If you want to advance in devotional service, if you want to go back to Godhead, we have to simply follow these rules of Shruti and Smriti, which have been very nicely summarized to us by Srila Rupa Goswami in our Guru Parampara. Srila Rupa Goswami has referred to various scriptures. He was given the instructions by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu based on the Shruti and Smriti. And there is a verse, Rupa Goswami says, Shruti Smriti Purana Bhir Pancharatrikim Vidim Vina Aikantikir Harir Bhakti Utpate Vahi Kalpate. Very important. Devotional service of Krishna must be performed according to Shruti and Smriti, according to how the Vedas are saying, according to how the Puranas are saying, how the Shruti text, Smriti text, there are injunctions. How you should worship Lord Krishna. What is the mode of ignorance worship, mode of passion worship, mode of goodness worship. What is the transcendental mode of worship of Krishna? And how to worship Krishna in his deity form? How to do deity worship of Krishna? How to take the Nama Sankirtana? The mode of worshipping Krishna in the Kali Yuga by chanting his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is given. What are the rules and regulations that we must be following in devotional service? Are there rules or there are no rules? No, there are no rules. We will do whatever we want and we will also do devotional service. That is not correct. We should not do like that. We will not advance in spiritual life. If we do like that, if we ignore the instructions of the Smriti, if we ignore the instructions of the Shruti, if we ignore following the four regulative principles and the principles laid out by Srila Prabhupada based on the scriptures, then we will not make progress and we may also fall down at any moment. This is not to be neglected. That is why it is said, when a doctor is giving medicine, doctor will give medicine and along with that diet also is prescribed. We have to follow the medicine and the diet as well. If we take the medicine and ignore the diet, then the effect may not be there. The intended effect will not be there. Therefore, we should not ignore it. And also it's a warning for all of us to understand. We should not do bhakti sentimentally. There are many sentimental devotees in our country who are devotees of Krishna, no doubt, but sentimental in nature. That means their devotion, the principles that they are following are not based on the scriptural injections. Whimsical. I feel, I will do. So, mind is considered to be an enemy by Krishna. Mind is said to be a prostitute in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is like a prostitute wife, which will always give bad counsel. We cannot take the advice of such a mind and do devotional service and expect to go back to God. Okay, this is wrong. Shruti Smriti are given to us, and based on Shruti Smriti we have to conduct our devotional life. And not only devotional life, even our material life also we have to follow Shruti and Smriti. This is Vedic civilization. See, the modern civilization, they are challenging everything. Why it is like this? Why it is like this? Everything, challenge everything. The Varnashrama system is wrong. Every principle of Veda, they will say it is wrong. This is demoniac attitude. See, if you do not understand something, you have to invest some time, read the scriptures and understand. You read Prabhupada books, you will understand the logic behind each and every scripture, each and every injection. Whether we understand or not, these are the injections given by Krishna. That's it. And we have to follow it. And Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Yat Shastra Muddhim Utsrujya Vartate Kamakarata Nasasantim Avapnoti Nasantim Paramam Gatim. That's it. Krishna said, those people who ignore the scriptural injunctions, they will neither attain perfection nor attain happiness in this life. That's it. Finished. If you want to be happy in this life, in the next life, want to go back to Godhead, please do not ignore Vedic scriptures in the view of modern thought process. See, I can understand very much. The modern thought process sounds very good, sounds very convincing. Sometimes the Vedic principles also may sound like opposite also. But we have to understand it in perspective. And we should not just simply follow something just because something is like, poison is coated with honey, doesn't mean that poison is poison. Sometimes medicine is bitter, doesn't mean that medicine is bad, just because it is bitter. Medicine is medicine, poison is poison. So in the Manusmriti it is said, here in the purport, Prabhupada is writing, let's see this. In the Manusmriti, it is said that a woman should not be given independence, but should be given protection by her father, husband, and elderly sons. In all circumstances, a woman should remain dependent upon some guardian. Presently, women are given full independence like men, but actually, we can see such independent women are no happier than those women who are placed under the guardians. So, here we have to understand this Manusmriti is not a textbook to analyze and criticize, to tear it and burn it. It is a Vedic literature and it is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is Shruti. It's Smriti, sorry. It is Smriti literature. It is given by great sages, but it comes under the Vedic literature. Okay? If we don't understand it, we have to read it properly. There are so many wonderful instructions in that. Anyways, the point here, you see, it is said that the general Vedic principle is like this: that women is not given full independence to lead the life however they want. Okay? They are generally placed under the dependence of men. And we see the example of Devahuti. We saw in the canto number 3, Devahuti, when she was young, she was under the protection of her father, right? Under the protection of her father, Manu, right? And then what happened? Manu got her married to Kardama Prajapati, right? After that, she was under the protection of Rishi Kardama. And after some time, Kardama Rishi, he left to the forest. When he was leaving to the forest, he handed over and he said, please take care of your mother. And he told to his son, Kapila Bhagavan, Kapila. So under the protection of the son. So this is the injection. Okay, it is said. So, but of course, we can follow the modern values and say, I don't care, I will do whatever I want to do. But then immediately Krishna says, right, you will never be happy. You can never be happy by ignoring the Srutis and Smritis. Because these are the injunctions given by the great sages. Nobody can, not only in this life, in the next life also we will not be happy. That is very important point. Because here the word says Amushmin. Amushmin means next life. See, the modern people may come up with something which may be very nice now, today. See, some people can take drugs and be happy today, or take some alcohol and sleep. But the next day is very dangerous. The person, because of the drug abuse, may die. Right? A person who is an alcoholic will die early. So the future consequences will be bad. So whatever may be good now may be bad later. So there must be a balance. We don't know what is the next life, what is religious principles, what is karma. All of this will be there. Unfortunately, rascals are manufacturing so many means to become happy. Everyone is inventing so many methods. Consequently, human life has lost the standard ways of life, both materially and spiritually. So our nation, even once I heard Guru Maharaj, Jayapatak Swami Maharaj commenting that in Nepal, I think, in one of his lectures, he said, Indians should follow their cultural heritage. Please do not follow Americans. Okay, they are not happy by you see the Americans, right? Indiscriminately, their principle is modern. See, husband and wife all is just mutual agreement. So for some time, if they're okay, they're okay. If after some time, they may have some kids and then they'll marry somebody else. The wife will marry someone else, husband will marry somebody else. So typically they'll have 3-4 marriages in a lifetime, and kids with different men and women. So more or less like cats and dogs. And this sounds very nice, looks very nice. And our younger generation are watching these serials, and they are so inspired by this. They are not inspired by the examples of Manu and by the examples of Manusmriti, Devahuti and Maitreya. They are inspired by this web series, which are promoting this kind of things, you see, like living like cats and dogs. And we Indians have become proud now that we want to follow the cats and dogs and fall down materially and spiritually also, and lose the peace of mind. Then who can be happy if we do not follow these rules and regulations, the basic rules and regulations to live materially in a marriage? If we do not follow, the entire family will be crying every day. That's it. Nothing will happen. Nobody will be happy in the family if we do not follow the rules and regulations. So here again Prabhupada is saying Asmin means in this life, Amushmin means next life. And the so-called professors, so-called Booker Prize, so-called Nobel Prize people, they do not know that there is a next life itself. They do not believe that, first of all, they do not know there is death. Even if they accept, they think that death is all in all, it's finished. It's like, you live only once. So you can do anything. There's nothing like religious principles. There's nothing like punya or papa. Or they don't believe in karma. And they say that they are very learned scholars. They don't believe in karma. And they say they are very learned scholars and professors. So we should understand there's life after death. Right? We need to take the principles of Shrutis and Smritis to make sure human mission is successful. The human form of life is given for a purpose. We are not cats or dogs to simply live. There is a purpose for the human form. That has to be fulfilled. The final purpose is to go back to home, back to Karan. This is very important. Let's go to the next one. Tan atishtati yas samyak upayan purvadarshitan avara shraddayopeta upeyan vindatenjasa. One who follows the principles and instructions enjoined by great sages of the past can utilize these instructions for practical purposes. Such a person can very easily enjoy life and pleasures. Right? So it says here, the Vedic principles, they urge us to follow the footsteps of the great liberated souls. It says here, see, we must follow the principles enjoined by great sages of the past. See, they are not ordinary people, okay? The rishis who have written the Smriti, they are not ordinary fools or rascals, right? That's in Prabhupada words. They're not foolish people or stupid people, whatever has come to their mind that they write. They're not like that. I mean, just like how people, they accuse that, this was written with some ulterior motive. It's not written because of some ulterior motive. You are not trying to understand what is the principle. The principles are consistent. Across Manusmriti, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad, Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, all the scriptures have a unified vision, and the logic behind each and everything is been explained along with the psychology. It has been explained why and how the future life will be affected. Everything has been explained, but people are not faithful enough to go and read and find out what it is. So we are supposed to follow the great liberated souls. Mahajano yena gatassa panta. Follow the footsteps of liberated souls. This is how we can benefit in this life, and we can improve our present life and the next life also. Right? So avaraha is also very important here. It says avara shraddayopeta. Avara means inexperienced. Inexperienced people means a foolish person will say, don't follow the Vedas. This is outdated textbook. This is written by somebody. This is written for an ulterior motive. This is for so and so. Tear it, burn it. So these are called inexperienced people. Right? So actually by birth, everybody is abodha jata. Abodha jata means born as a fool and rascal. Right? So see, this is interesting. Let me read from the purport. Prabhupada is saying, in the democratic government, at the present moment, all kinds of fools and rascals are making decisions. But what can they do? What is the result of their legislation? They enact something today to whimsically repeal it tomorrow. So what kind of nonsensical laws they are creating today for the vote politics, right? For the vote bank. It is complete nonsense, we can say. Whatever they are creating here, it's I would say more or less mindless nonsense, because they are creating something and they're immediately repealing it. All over the world, I'm saying, all over the world, they are creating some kind of foolish legislations, and all the public, they are scolding that what kind of nonsense is this. Every time there's a new law that comes, there's a party that will come and start with some initiative which will favor that party and give some political fuel. The next party will come and completely say this is nonsense and cut it off. What is going on? What is going on? And what are we doing? We have completely ignored the scriptures. What the scriptures are saying, we have completely ignored it. We are following whatever we want to do. We'll do whatever we want to do, we will do it. So people want to do contraceptives, they want to kill abortions. All of it, no problem. We'll just do whatever we want, we'll do it. That's it. We don't care what will happen. There's no karma, there's nothing. Right? We don't want to follow any scriptural injections, isn't it? So here it is said, what happens to such foolish people who ignore like this and do whatever comes to their mind? ताननादृत्य यो विद्वान् अर्थानारभते स्वयं तस्य व्यभिचारन्त्यर्था आरब्धास् च पुनः पुनः. A foolish person who manufactures his own ways and means through mental speculation and does not recognize the authority of Vedas, who lay down unimpeachable directions, is simply unsuccessful again and again in his attempts. So, just see, it has become a fashion today. It's written, see, at the present moment, it has become a fashion to disobey the unimpeachable directions by the acharyas and the liberated souls of the past. Everything will be taken out of context and vilified. That has become a fashion, right? So take Sanatana Dharma, take some of this culture, and start discussion. And in the TV panel, they will sit down and they'll start vilifying each and every practice, as if they are very liberated souls, as if they have conquered all the three modes of material nature, as if they are like the great vidwans, some kind of great learned persons. They'll start analyzing and vilifying, trying to put it down with all their intelligence. But we have to understand, these foolish men who are making such analysis, they don't know what's the difference between a liberated soul and a conditioned soul. A conditioned soul has 4 defects, right? We know the 4 defects, right? A conditioned soul commits mistakes, becomes illusioned, has a tendency to cheat others, and senses are imperfect. So when these 4 defects are there, such conditioned people should not try to create any kind of loss. They should better keep quiet and follow the liberated souls. We should take the direction from liberated souls who are free from these 4 defects. Right? This Srimad Bhagavatam is written by Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva does not have 4 defects. He is the incarnation, literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has divided the Vedas. He has written 18 Puranas. He has written Mahabharata. If you just see the volume of his work, it is unmatched in the entire world. There is nobody even close to Vyasadeva. He is such extraordinary personality. How can we counter Vyasadeva and say Vyasadeva is wrong? Right? Anybody who says Vyasadeva is wrong is a fallen person. Okay, Prabhupada once said that such a person is called a fool. That's it. If we ignore Vyasadeva, such a person should be called directly a fool. That's it. We have to take the direction from liberated persons. This Krishna consciousness movement directly receives instructions from the Supreme Lord by strictly following his instructions. Krishna consciousness movement means not some wishy-washy religion. Directly following the instructions of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam. We are following the Nama Sankirtana, which is the best of all the procedures, of all the religious, it's the best of all. We are following that. Is there anything better? It's a challenge. Can anybody come with something which is better than Nama Sankirtana in the Vedas? Although a follower may not be liberated, if he is following the Supreme, the liberated personality of God, his actions naturally become liberated. This is the process. This is the process. The process is, we may not be liberated, but we simply strictly follow the Krishna's instruction and then we are liberated. Anybody who follows the liberated Supreme Lord's instruction, such a person is liberated. That's it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Amara Ajnayai Guru Haya. That means he said, by my order you become spiritual master. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, become a spiritual master and deliver everybody. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. We should actually take up this order. Not that for our sense gratification, but for following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given that you become a guru. So we can, Prabhupada is saying one can immediately become a spiritual master by having full faith in the transcendental words of Supreme Lord. So simply all we have to do is simply repeat as it is. If you can repeat whatever Krishna said, if you can repeat whatever Acharya said, as it is, without concocting, without putting our modern values and our value system inside it, then we are liberated. That's it. Then we are also a spiritual master. You are also a spiritual master. If you can follow exactly word to word without changing anything, right? This is important. And now, why is this discussion going on so heavily? The discussion is going on because of this reason. My dear king, the seeds, roots, herbs, and grains which were created by Lord Brahma in the past are now being used by non devotees who are devoid of all spiritual understanding. So, there's 7 billion human population in the world. How many of them are devotees? How many of them are non devotees? It says, Asadbir Adrita Vrataihi. The purpose of the creation is that it will be nicely utilized by the residents of this material world who are faithful to God, faithful to the Father. It is not for the faithless atheistic men, this creation. Everything has been created for the sake of the devotees. But now the non devotees are utilizing everything who have no spiritual understanding at all, which is the case right now. 7 billion people, and they are all, most all of them are non devotees, and they're maintaining slaughterhouses, they're killing the cows, and even in India also we have no regard for spiritual injections, and we still want to call ourselves some kind of Hindu. I don't know what kind of Hindu we are, without having any respect for Vedic literatures, simply want to say I am a proud Hindu. What kind of Hindu is that? We have no respect for the scriptures. We don't want to follow the scriptures. We want to reject the scriptures. What kind of Hindu is that? Some kind of a new thing that we want to do. This is what is happening. This is a fact, whatever I'm saying. We are supposed to be following the scriptures. Right? We're supposed to be following the scriptures. Right? So, yeah. So the next one. My dear king, not only our grains and herbs are being used by non-devotees, but as far as I am concerned, I am not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by kings who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by grains for sense gratification. Consequently, I have to hide all these seeds which were meant for performance of sacrifices. Very important verse. Here we'll understand the big picture, okay? The creation, what's the purpose of the creation? Is it without a purpose? Why did the God create this material nature? And there's so many different types of trees, so many different types of animals, all of them are present, and human beings are there. So what's the equation? Is it that everybody is an animal, and animals are animals, and humans are also animals? They will also behave like one kind of animal, and they will eliminate everybody. They're envious and they will eliminate each other, and they will fight wars. Is this the purpose of the creation? This is not the purpose. The purpose is Lord Brahma has created for a purpose. It is not for the sense gratification of living entities. It is for the gratifying the senses of Krishna he has created. So the entire material creation is for making Krishna happy. So whatever is coming here, the fruits, flowers, trees, grains, animals, even animals also, animal byproducts also, they were created for sacrifice to the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So of course you may ask me a question that, we don't offer a goat to Krishna, we offer only vegetarian food. That is true, but we offer these animals in sacrifice. In the Vedic rituals earlier, in the previous ages, they used to offer the animals in sacrifice. It is to the Yagneshwara, Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the fire sacrifice, not directly. So even the animals, all the fruits, flowers, trees, everything is for the purpose of Krishna. The music and dance, it is given for the purpose of Krishna. It is not that I will sing, I will dance, I will eat, and there is no connection with Krishna. Krishna is saying, if you do that, you are a thief. Krishna said, Stena eva saha. That means anybody who is eating without doing fire sacrifice, he is a thief. There's some people who ask, I am a very religious person, right? Yudhishthir Maharaj has done gambling of his wife. I am such a pious person, I have not gambled my wife. But they don't understand one thing. Yudhishthir Maharaj is a pure devotee of Krishna, and why he has done it is a leela. We don't know what exactly happened at that point of time. It's a leela of the Supreme Lord. And then he's a great devotee of the Lord, but this fool who is commenting, he's thinking that he's actually I'm lawfully living with my life, with my wife, but his wife is not even his wife. Everybody belongs to Krishna. He doesn't even know that. Once Prabhupada said one simple example. There was somebody who said, I am a very good person. I don't believe in God. I don't worship God. I am a very moral person. I don't harm anybody. Then Prabhupada said, you are a thief. And how are you saying that I'm a thief? I'm not taking anybody's property. He said, it is not your property. It's God's property. Suppose you go to a park, there is a shawl, you find the shawl on the bench, you just take it and you start using it without asking the owner. Later the owner comes and looking for it, but you are using it without asking anybody. Is that not theft? Everything belongs to Krishna. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. The entire world belongs to Krishna. It is created by Brahma for the pleasure of Krishna. It is meant to be given for Krishna, and Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, give it to me. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. With love you give it to me. He's telling yajñartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Every activity is supposed to be, given to Krishna. Everything is supposed to be given as a sacrifice to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. And we have completely forgotten Krishna and put him out of the equation, and we are enjoying. How can we be happy? Right? This is what is happening. So this planet Earth is created for, utilized by those people with spiritual understanding. But it is misused by non-devotees who have no spiritual goals. Right? And things should not be used for sense gratification. Right? The whole plan is, these non-devotees are described in Bhagavad Gita as 4 type of people, right? Name dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradama. Krishna is very strong on them. He's not saying atheistic people are okay, they are good people, they are very rational people, they are nice people. Krishna is saying there are 4 type of people who do not surrender to me. He's saying name dushkritino. The first word he has used for such people is miscreants. And he's saying mudha. Mudha means fool, and or ass. Prapadyante naradhama. Naradhama means lowest of mankind. Maya yapahrita jnana. Those who have lost their knowledge because of the power of illusory energy. And he continues to say asurim bhava masrita. That means they are demons. That's it. So the whole purpose of this creation is for us to convert from a demon to a demigod, to a divine being. That is from asat to sat. Asat means somebody who is utilizing everything for his own sense gratification. That too, it is somebody else's property, I will use it without acknowledging the owner. That is the theft that we are doing. And such people are called Gruhavrata. These are called non-devotees, they are called Gruhavrata. But the devotees are called Dhritavrata. So Dhritavrata means who are fixed in their vow towards Krishna. Gruhavrata means those who are fixed in a vow to remain in the house. So from Gruhavrata we have to become Dhritavrata. That is the whole purpose of the Vedic civilization. That's the reason why we have all these rules, regulations, devotional service, everything. That we realize that nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna. And let me utilize it for minimally maintaining myself. And let me try to offer it to the Supreme Lord to please him. This is the proper way of the human life. So my dear king, not only are the cranes and herbs being used by non-devotees, as far as I am concerned, I am not being properly maintained. Indeed, I am being neglected by these kings, who are not punishing these rascals who have turned into thieves by using grains for sense gratification. Consequently, I have hidden all these seeds which were meant for performance of sacrifice. So all the grains that are coming, all the milk that is coming, okay, all the animals, whatever are there on this earth, are only meant for the pleasure of Krishna. for the performance of sacrifice, not for my sense gratification. So China has created a very big slaughterhouse with 24 floors where they're breeding pigs. So this kind of pig civilization we should stop first. That is the idea. Let's go to the next one. Due to being stopped for a very long time, all grain seeds within me have certainly deteriorated. Therefore, you should immediately arrange to take these seeds out by the standard process which is recommended by the Acharyas and Shastras. This is very important. See, if you want to get the proper grain yield, right, you should use the standard process. What's the standard process? Let's find out. There is a scarcity of grains. If there is scarcity of grains, what should the government do? They should follow methods prescribed in the Shastras and approved by the Acharyas. Only then the food scarcity and famine can be checked. Bhagavad Gita recommends we perform yajna, sacrifice. Krishna has explained the cycle of sacrifice. Yajna, annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava. Right? There's a whole cycle which is there. The grains, the living entity subsist on grains. Right? And then these grains are produced by rains. And the rains are possible by performing sacrifices. And therefore Krishna says, you do your work as a sacrifice. Be established in this cycle of sacrifice. This is the process of human beings. We've completely left yajna. Where is yajna? Where is the sacrifice? There is no sacrifice. There is only sense gratification. So by performance of yajna, there will be clouds. And there will be sufficient rainfall. Right? And then the general populace eats the grains. And according to this arrangement, human beings should perform sacrifice recommended in the Shastras. Then there will be no longer food scarcity. Now, so far we understand. We are supposed to perform yajna to get rid of this famine, etc. Now, in Kali Yuga, what should we do? Now, should we start we'll call all the Pandits from India and start reviving the yajna system which was stopped by Lord Buddha? No, that's wrong. We should follow what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. All the scriptures are saying the same thing. You see, in all the 18 Puranas, most of them, they have a chapter called Kali Yuga. In that, it's very clearly explained. Kali Yuga is like this. In Kali Yuga, the proper process of yajna is Sankirtana yajna. Yajnai Sankirtanai prayahi yajanti sumedasa. Kali Yuga is Sankirtana yajna. Chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, congregational chanting. So this is such a powerful process. People are having no clue what Srila Prabhupada has contributed to the world. They're not able to recognize. I think even the devotees also do not know properly what is the greatness of Srila Prabhupada and what is the greatness of Sankirtana Yajna. Because, see, by this process of Sankirtana Yajna, what we are doing, congregational chanting of the holy names of Krishna, it is relieving the suffering of the entire universe. It is a yajna offering which is to the Supreme Lord to satisfy Him, and all the living entities are subsequently maintained properly. So it's such an important duty for the devotees that they are doing. They are doing something very big, very important. Because everybody was supposed to be doing, they are not doing it. At least some people are doing it. Right? In the Kali Yuga, going forward, it is said after 10,000 years, there will be no longer any devotees. There will be no Puranas, there will be no chanting, there will be nothing. Then you know what's going to happen? There will be no food to eat. There will be no grains to eat. Then people are going to eat each other. It's given in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. They will be killing their fathers and sons and eating their flesh. That's going to happen after 10,000 years. Because there will be no chanting, no Kali Yuga, no Yajna, etc. What are they going to do then? Right? So this is the process approved by the former acharyas. So Prabhupada is saying you cannot go to a desert and use a tractor there and you can produce grains there, right? So Intelligent men will take to Sankirtana movement and worship the Supreme Lord. Supreme Personality of God, Lord Chaitanya, whose bodily complexion is golden and always accompanied by his confidential devotees, to preach this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. So Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given such a beautiful thing for us, right? And he has encouraged everybody to chant the holy names of Krishna always. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always sing the names of Krishna and make everybody liberated. We see, we should not be bewildered by this modern scientific processes. They may extend our lifespan, but they will not, they can never take us back to Godhead. This is what we have to realize. Okay. So only Sankirtana movement, Krishna consciousness can elevate our consciousness, right? You see, artificial intelligence or robots, they cannot improve our consciousness level. So a person with an animal consciousness, animal propensity, very lusty, such person's lust will not be reduced by interacting with some AI robots, isn't it? But simply by chanting the Krishna consciousness, the chanting the holy names of Krishna, one person, the person we can get relief of our anarthas and elevate our consciousness from animal level to human level. Everybody is thinking they are human. They say, they speak about humanity. But do people know what is humanity? Humanity means human consciousness is something different level. If you say only compassion is humanity, then why are you maintaining the slaughterhouses? Why are you killing animals? So question number one. Question number two, why are there wars at all? Question number two. Right? And why is there so much of discrimination still? If there is humanity. Humanity is something else. We have, what is humanity? To understand, we need Srimad Bhagavatam. We don't need to hear from the modern fools what is the definition of a humanity. Humanity means conquering the three modes of material nature. To be a real human means to be a devotee. That means to be conquering our lust, anger and greed and being established as a pure devotee with complete humility and being able to see everybody equally. That is humanity. Not that simply I have a meat on my plate and I am talking about equality and humanity and compassion. That is not humanity. That is hypocrisy. Let's see this. Next one. Yeah, so due to being stocked for a very long time, the grain seeds within me have become deteriorated. Therefore, you should immediately arrange for the seeds to be taken out by the standard process. Oh, great hero, if you desire to relieve the living entities by supplying them sufficient grain, if you desire to nourish by taking milk from me, you should make arrangements to bring a calf suitable for this purpose and a pot in which milk can be kept, as well as a milkman to do the work. Since I will be very much affectionate towards my calf, your desire to take my milk will be fulfilled. So now Mother Earth is in the form of a cow. Now to milk a cow, you need a milkman and you need a calf. Why do you need a calf? Because the cow does not get inspiration to give milk without seeing the calf. So when the cow sees its calf, then the milk will start coming from its udder. Otherwise, it will not come. So a calf is required, and a milkman is required, and a patra, a vessel is required to keep this. A pot is required to keep the milk. Now let us see. It's going to be very interesting from starting from the verse number 11 till almost till the end. Different people will turn into cow. So different people will turn into a calf, and based on the calf, Mother Earth will give a different type of milk that will be saved inside different types of these pots. Right? Let's see what happens. My dear king, may I inform you that you have to make the entire surface of the globe level. This will help me even when the rainy season has ceased. Rainfall comes from the mercy of King Indra. Rainfall will remain on the surface of the globe, always keeping the earth moist, and thus it will be auspicious for all kinds of production. Right? And now is saying, Mother Earth saying, make the earth flat. okay, by breaking down the differences. Okay, there's so many ups and downs, you break it down. Then after hearing these auspicious and pleasing words of the Mother Earth, king accepted them and then transformed Swayambhuva Manu into a calf, and then milked all the herbs, grains from the earth in the form of a cow, keeping them in the cupped hands. So what does that mean? First, Swayambhuva Manu became the calf. First was Swayambhuva Manu became calf. And what was the milk that came? All the herbs and the grains was the milk that came from the earth. And then where was it stored? It was stored in the pot with cupped hands. Hands, if you cup your hands, that's also like a pot, small pot. Right? Shukadeva Goswami says, what is the need of plates when you have two hands, right? You can use your hands as a plate. Something like that. Or a glass, you can cup your hands and your hands is like a plate. So this is like the pot. And what is the thing that you got? It gave all the grains. Grains have come here, right? And then next what happened? Let's see this. Others who are intelligent as King Prithu, who took the essence out of the earthly planet, indeed everyone took opportunity to follow the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever they desired from the planet Earth. So King Prithu, his desire was only to get the herbs and grains. But others who saw Prithu Maharaj doing this, they said, okay, if Prithu Maharaj does it, let me also do it, and let me also get something out of the Mother Earth. Mother Earth can give so many things, right? See, for example, so many things that we are using from Earth, right? For example, all the CNG gas that we are using, and the coal that we are using, the petroleum that we are using, petroleum products that we are using, they are also coming from Mother Earth, isn't it? Everything is actually a transformation of Earth, isn't it? So now, all the sages transformed Brihaspati into a calf. The sages also wanted something. They wanted to follow Prithu Maharaj, just like how he transformed Swayambhuva Manu into a calf and got herbs and grains as the milk in his cupped hands as a pot. Sages transformed Brihaspati into a calf, and then they made the senses as a pot, and they milked all kinds of Vedic knowledge to purify words, mind and hearing. So what is it that they got as a milk? So with the inspiration of Brihaspati, Mother Earth gave the Vedas. Right? This is very interesting. So this Vedas, Brihaspati is the priest of heavenly planets. Vedic knowledge was received in logical order by the great sages through Brihaspati for the benefit of human society. Not only of this planet, but throughout the universes. In other words, Vedic knowledge is considered to be the necessity of human planet. So all the human society are fulfilled by the Vedic literatures. Okay. But I tell you, we are not following this Vedic literature. Okay. We are following the West. And I told you in one of my previous classes, anybody who knows a little bit of knowledge of political science, right, as given in the Vedas, they will laugh at the West, seriously. Because the kind of debt that they have, right, is in trillions of dollars. I'll just talk about the US. They have trillions of dollars of debt. You know to whom they are indebted to? To their enemy country, China. It's so laughable actually. So that's what happens, right? When you don't follow the Vedic knowledge, it's the most stupid civilization. That's it, we can say. Not little stupid, most stupid. And we consider them to be like very advanced, and we are following the footsteps. This is our foolishness. Right? That's what is happening. So this is meant for our human society, Vedic knowledge, and everything is given in this. Okay, material knowledge is there, spiritual knowledge is there. Okay, everything is given. We have to just simply use this properly. Right? Humanity must make use of this. The highest principle of the Vedic knowledge is this: devotional service. You see, the best of the Vedic religion, Vedas, is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Is it me who is saying it? It's not me who is saying it. Who is saying it? Lord Brahma said it. Idi Shodasha Namnam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam Nata parataropaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. Lord Brahma said this 16 syllabled Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the best remedy of the Vedas in Kali Yuga to elevate oneself to the spiritual planet. And there is no other equivalent for it in the entire Vedas. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, Lord Brahma says, I have read the Vedas 3 times. 3 times, word to word, end to end, the entire vast Vedas, and I have not found anything better than devotional service to Krishna to elevate oneself. This is the highest principle of religion. So, whatever we are doing is the highest principle of religion, the best of the Vedic civilization. So, Prabhupada is reviving almost like a dead thing. It's almost like, somebody is in an ICU and the pulse stopped. Then, you do resus, you give some kind of shocks, and then suddenly the pulse starts to beat. That's what Prabhupada did, okay, to the Vedic civilization. It's almost like on a bed, almost dead, completely dead. So he's brought the pulse back by, spreading this Hare Krishna movement, by giving the essence of the Vedic religion to everybody. So first of all, there's a long way to go. We have to start this, at least by chanting. Let's start with chanting first. Okay, that's what our Guru Maharaj also said. We will figure out Varnashrama Dharma later, but emergency is, let us first chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That is the emergency. Everybody should know this information that they should chant. So what should you chant at the time of death? Nobody knows that. Right? So recently we have seen some terrorist attacks, and they were asked to recite some other religious scriptures, and they were blank thinking what they should be doing. Actually, they should have at least recited the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. At least they should have recited some verse from Bhagavad Gita. They should have gone back to God. Right? At least this information we must know, that at the time of death we must remember the name of Krishna. We do not even know this. So let us spread this. Right? So all the demigods made of Indra, king of heaven, into calf, and from the earth they milked the beverage soma, which is nectar, and thus they became very powerful in mental speculation and bodily and sensual strength. So it's called soma rasa, somapana. Soma rasa is not alcohol. I tell you, I heard one song, some Telugu movie, they have made a full song out of it, saying that the devatas in the Swarga are drinking intoxication, they're drunkards, so let me also drink now. They made a full song out of it. Let us see how true it is, their accusation that, the demigods are drunkards, they're drinking alcohol, so let me go to the bar and drink. If devatas are drinking, why should I not drink, is the question. The entire song. So here let us see, beverage made in heavenly planets, from the moon to the kingdoms of the demigods in the various higher planetary systems. By drinking the soma beverage, the demigods become more powerful mentally and increase their sensual power and bodily strength. The word Hiranmayena Patrena indicates this soma beverage is not an ordinary intoxicating liquor. It was, see, if it is liquor, they would not have put in a golden kind of a pot. It said Hiranmayena Patrena. Means this soma beverage which was come, they put into the golden patra. That means in the golden pot. You don't put intoxication inside the golden pot. Right? It's not, soma rasa is not a liquor like these fools are thinking. The demigods would not touch any kind of liquors. Nor a soma is a kind of a drug. It is a different kind of a beverage available in heavenly planets. Soma is far different from liquors made for demoniac people, as explained in the next verse. In the next verse, the liquors has been explained, which is meant for the demoniac people. So, in other words, alcohol is for demoniac people. So shamelessly, we should not say that, demigods are drinking liquor, let me also drink liquor. So, let's see the next one. Daiteya Danavavatsam Prahaladam Asurashabam Vidyadudahan Kshiram Ayah Patre Surasavam. The sons of Diti and demons transformed Prahalad Maharaj, who was born in an Asura family, into a calf, and they extracted various kinds of liquor and beer, which they put into a pot made of iron. Now, for getting the alcohol, they need the king of the Asuras, of course. Prahalad Maharaj is a pure devotee, but nonetheless, he is representing the Asuras. He is born in the family of Asura family, so they had kept him as the calf, Prahalad Maharaj, and then they extracted various kinds of liquor and beer, and they didn't put in a hiranmayena patra, they didn't put in a golden pot, they put in an iron pot. Iron is considered to be a lower kind of metal. Gold is considered to be a pure metal. So the demons also have their beverage. The demigods have got their beverage, somarasa. The demons also want something to drink. That is called the liquor and beer. So demigods use somarasa for their drinking purpose. The demons born of Diti take great pleasure in drinking wine and beer. Even today, people of demoniac nature are very much addicted to liquor and beer. So the name Prahlad Maharaj is very significant in this connection because Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of demons as the son of Hiranyakashipu, and by his mercy, the demons are still able to have their drinks in the form of wine and beer. The word ayaha is very significant, where the nectarian soma was put in golden pot, the liquors and beers are put in an iron pot. Because the liquor and beer are inferior, they are put in an iron pot, and somarasa is superior, it is put in a golden pot. So that's the last verse that we are doing for the day. Okay. So in conclusion, there are many more we will be seeing in the next chapter. So what are the other things that came out? It's a very interesting chapter. I really like this so much. When I heard it for the first time, I was very, very mesmerized. Okay. It was a couple of years back. And I was also very happy and I went through this chapter and I got this opportunity to go through this. There's still more, many more. Okay. How each one will take the form of a calf and then they will bring the milk. Different types of milks are getting extracted from the earth. There's many more lessons. Okay. Vedic knowledge is very, very deep and there's so much that we don't know. Okay. So we just have to have faith in the words of the acharyas. We should have the faith in the words of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who simplified everything. He said, forget about all of this. People of Kali Yuga are very less intelligent. I mean, he's openly saying that we should accept it, okay? Because people of the previous yugas, they were very intelligent. They could remember so much. But we are so less intelligent. We get attracted to temporary. We get attracted to Maya so fast. And somehow we have that attitude in us that we want to be cheating. We want to do fake religious practices. We want to condemn the real religion. That demoniac nature is there in almost everybody in Kali Yuga. That's the tendency is there. So like the natural tendency is to be demoniac first. So we can counteract by simply chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's it. And by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, which was written by Vyasadeva for the sake of less intelligent people, right? So of course, the most intelligent people are those who read Srimad Bhagavatam and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay. So that's it, dear devotees. Thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any questions, you can ask. And we can stop for the day. Already little.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavат Pranam. Beautiful class.
All devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Very nice question. Okay. Swati
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavат Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Swati Mataji has a question. In Kali Yuga, it's not an ideal life, and women don't have father anymore, and don't have husband, and don't have children also. Who will take care of such women? So, nice question, Swati Mataji. Actually, it's a truth. In Kali Yuga, I mean, things are so degraded that, I mean, people are so unfortunate also. I mean, it's unfortunate because, like, either, father, mother would have left their body early, unfortunately, or a woman would not have got married, or even if would have got married, would be divorcee, okay, or, the husband would have died early, unfortunately. Because Kali Yuga is like that. Okay, it's bad luck. It's a yuga of bad luck. It said prayena alpayusha sabya yugavasmin janaha manda sumandamatayoho mandabhagyahi upatrita. Everybody is unlucky in Kali Yuga. So, and children also will not be there, sons also will not be there. Even if they're there, they will not be taken care of. What should we do at that point of time? So, in such case, we should just simply take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So, it is traditionally said that, women who are destitute, who have nobody else, traditionally in India, they go to Vrindavan. Did you know that? In Vrindavan, there are so many women actually. So many women who are who have no family at all. So traditionally in the scriptures it is said like that. Women who have no father, no son, nobody to take care, they should go to Vrindavan. That means they should go finally take the shelter of Krishna. That's it. That's the idea. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yeah, that is also true. Yeah, there are so many abusive relationships in Kali Yuga. Yes. Kali Yuga people are like that. They are always fighting and they are not taking care properly. That's also true. That's also true. Hare Krishna. Yeah, there's so much of nonsense things that are happening inside the Kali Yuga. That's true. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna.
Dhanam
Thank you.
pranams. Hare Krishna.
Just